Happy Monday, everyone. It is officially the first day of summer 2021 here in the US, and we are finally in the season when we can expect that summer update Rockstar has promised us. We're still waiting on an official release date. However, we do know that coming soon, the game will see a diverse array of new robbery missions, other new content, and overall just lots of new changes to shake things up and get Red Dead Online feeling fresh again. And I wanted to take some time today to see what you all had to say about new quality of life changes for Red Dead Online, and basically what you think would make the online world a lot better of an experience if Rockstar changed something specific about the game. These are changes that aren't necessarily new content ideas, but just something that changes the way things work, if they don't work, or if they're awkward or clumsy about the game, or just general changes that would make the experience we have a more enjoyable one than it already is. And honestly, I have to say you all have some amazing ideas for this video, so let's get into them right now. If you do go on to enjoy this video at any point, or if you just find it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on today's video. And if you want to stay up to date and in the loop with everything Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online, consider hitting that subscribe button with your bell notifications turned on. So starting off from Kenna Pierce, I just want to be able to sell horses. Wild horses are still pointless in online since you can't keep them or sell them, and it's frustrating when you buy a horse and end up hating it and can't get any money back when you get rid of it. So two parts here. One, yes, we were kind of promised being able to fence off horses and tame wild horses in the Red Dead Online prologue with Clay or Clive or whatever those guys' names are. When you finish the prologue, they say bring some horses back and you could sell them for money or just keep them if you want when you start progressing in the online world. And initially I thought maybe that's when you rank up further, or maybe we'll get a DLC update, but we still don't have it yet, almost 3 years into this game's life cycle. And then if you want to sell another horse that you already have, you don't have that option. You can only discard it, completely just wasting the money you spent on it. You don't even get, half of it back or a third of it back. You just have to completely discard it, delete it, and turn it into glue. And I don't know why Rockstar is doing this. They just really want to get the money out of you when you're paying for the horses. They don't seem to want to give you any money back in return. So who knows? Will we see this in a future update? Like a naturalist expansion, we could probably see it with having the ability to tame horses, or even with this robbery update coming up. Some of the robberies I'm sure will task you with trying to steal a horse. And unlike the stranger mission, instead of getting paid for stealing the horse, maybe you can actually keep it. Who knows? But this is something we definitely need to see come to online. That would interest a lot of the horse players and the horse lovers in this game to keep playing the game. Paulo says horse breaking and taming, again, just basically kind of the same thing. You're having legendary rare horses only available in the wild, difficult to find, but it's very rewarding once you manage to get a hold of them. Same point he's echoing here. Now moving on to Shy Fanatic, ability card loadouts, improved hitching posts at camp for your horses so your horses can regain cores like players, and PC clothing for sale, particularly the miner's hat, which can be found in Ansberg. Now again, another two-part basically answer here. Ability card loadouts are a must. I'm very surprised that Rockstar has never added this into the game yet. We've gotten some new ability cards in the spring update from May 2019, but this can easily be another feature added to the weapon wheel here, so you can switch between your card loadouts. Basically, you preset your card loadouts, take the time, set up your Deadeye card and your 3 passive cards, but basically add another wheel to the weapon wheel, so you have items, horses weapon wheel, and then you can go to like the ability card weapon wheel, and it has all the slots like normal, but you have ability card loadout 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you go around the circle and you can choose all your different builds. You can label them, preset them, so you can switch on the fly. Say if you're getting into a long range gunfight, then you could switch to your long range setup or whatever it is, go from more of like a melee focused ability card setup to your damage cards or your rehealing cards or defense cards, whatever it is, switch that on the fly. That's something we definitely need in this game. And having that improved hitching post at camp as well, or just having the ability to swap your horses at camp too. Have all your horses visible. That would make your camp a lot more lively. And if you had 2 hitching posts at camp where all your horses were just chilling and hanging out, you can just hop on one. You don't need to go to the stable and switch saddles on it. As long as your horse at your camp has a saddle on it, you can hop on that one and your active and current horse switches to that current one that you just hopped on, and you're good to go. There's no stabling needed, none of that type of stuff. Game Freak makes some great points that I want to point out here. Number 2, reload trader and moonshine while away from camp, and then of course solo and private lobbies I think is something that's definitely a must. That's somewhat sort of an obvious one. A lot of people want the solo and the private lobbies, but it's something of course that's highly rated. We definitely need in this game. And then again, the ability to reload trader and moonshiner, I don't think Rockstar would necessarily give us the ability to reload them at camp, or like, reload trader while away from camp, or reload the moonshiner and get that producing while away from the moonshine shack. But being able to see the stock of these on the go would be very, very helpful, because if you miss the notification for your trader resupply or your trader delivery, or you miss the notification for your moonshine delivery, you don't know if they're ready or not. And you could be wasting time. You know, you may head back there early. The only way to check is to literally go to that location and check. So maybe seeing something by the map and the rest of your, you know, your health core, your stamina core, and your Deadeye core, maybe like a little icon that shows you like trader and moonshiner type stuff. Those businesses are full, different colors to let you know if they need to be resupplied or need to be delivered, if they're ready or not. I think that would be extremely helpful for players, or just checking it in the pause menu or something. Having more than just one notification that doesn't force us to have to go all the way there just to check to see if it's ready or not. Because if it's not, then you wasted your time, and I think it's kind of silly. Martin says, dismiss wagons quickly rather than using the menu the same way you can with your horse, and the ability to use your hands to pick things up like carcasses, sedated animals in shallow water. And I think that would be interesting here too, because you can't really pick things up out of the water necessarily. You can only pick things up that are floating on top of the water, and if an item sinks, you should definitely be able to go in and grab it. But I like the dismissing wagons feature here. Being able to dismiss your wagon by, you know, pressing left trigger and then pressing square on PlayStation or X on Xbox to dismiss it, just like you would dismiss your horse, would be helpful. And then being able to call your wagon with the up on the D-pad, just like you would call your horse. It would be a nice feature. Obviously, as it stands right now, going to the player interaction menu, go into your vehicle section, and calling your hunting or bounty wagon over, you need to go there to, you know, make the game know you want the vehicle or whatever wagon it is, and not the horse when you press up on the D-pad. But then once you dismiss your horse and the wagon gets called over, the only way to move that wagon around is for you to get on the wagon and start driving it places. But say if you run away really far away and you don't want to run all the way back, you should start being able to press up on the D-pad to call the wagon over to you, and that horse that's pulling it should just follow you around like your normal horse. While that wagon is equipped, that would make total sense. I don't know why Rockstar hasn't done it. SRNXN says, an option to create multiple ability card loadouts for different occasions and to change between them easily. We cover that. Fantastic idea. We definitely need to see that in this game. I did a couple of repeat screenshots here just because they were highly rated, but Squawk has a great one here. All clean gun options in free roam stores, or just a clean all guns option in general, I think would be very important here. I feel like Rockstar wouldn't necessarily allow us to clean all weapons on the go. You know, they allow us to craft multiple meats at a time and cook them. We don't have the ability to craft multiple tonics yet, but I feel like that may be some option coming in, like a future Outlaw Pass as a skill, or a different role as some skill or something like that. But having a clean all weapons option would be super important. Whether you do it on the go, that would be helpful, because, you know, the realism players, the players who really like realism in this game, can keep it as is, but the players who just want to get moving and not waste time don't need to deal with it. Or, you know, maybe you have to clean one weapon at a time if you're just out in the world and you're using your gun oil. But then if you go to the stores in town, you have that clean all gun option like Squawk suggests, and that would get people to actually go into the gunsmith more and actually need to clean their weapons, you know, because when do you really go to the gunsmith in online? Besides buying something new, no one's going into the gunsmith anymore, and you can just buy ammo from the catalog. You can buy everything in the gunsmith from the catalog anyway, so you don't need to ever step foot in the actual gunsmith itself. But if you have the clean all weapons option in the gunsmith while you're in town before you start up a mission, this would save you so much time than cleaning each weapon individually. You know, maybe someone wouldn't go out of their way to go to the gunsmith just to clean one or two weapons, but if they have every single weapon that needs to be cleaned, at least partially, they would go to the gunsmith to clean all weapons. That would get more player interactions in towns. That would get more of the role play aspect that Rockstar wants to see in this game. I think it's a great idea. Ahsoka says 20 more horse slots. This is something I'm surprised we also didn't get here in this game. That would make a huge difference for me personally, and probably for you guys as well. Same thing with more outfits. The only time we ever got an increased stable slot capacity was with the May 2019 spring update for the game that brought Red Dead Online out of beta, and I thought maybe each single DLC update we would see 5 extra horse slots added to the game. I thought that was going to be Rockstar's kind of practice here, but they just stopped doing it. They only did it once. 10 horse slots isn't enough, and if we got more, and we got 20 more horse slots now, I honestly still don't think that would be enough. You know, if we were getting 5 each update, I think it would have been okay, but now we just need more in general, right? And I have a little conspiracy theory here. This is just completely my speculation. Probably isn't the case, but I feel like Rockstar doesn't want us to be able to have more than 10 slots because they want you to have to constantly discard your horses and waste money to buy a new horse that you want, right? If they gave you the ability to own one of each horse in the game, every single horse breed and every single horse coat, you would never need to spend more money again on horses until they added new ones into the game. So having only a limited number of slots, you'd have to keep buying and selling your horses, or keep buying and discarding your horses to get new ones, hoping you would like start spending money on gold or for for some reason. It's not, I don't think it's super likely, but if you want to put on your tinfoil hats, could be a possibility there. Now, Emperor says, let us walk around while playing instruments. Even just a banjo or guitar on our back slot would be cool, along with two-handed melee weapons. This is something, again, I think would make a huge difference for some players. They love the Moonshine Shack band and the bar expansions, and we should be able to play those instruments at camp. They already have the animations. They could do the same songs. Crip should be, you know, playing something more than just the harmonica at camp. We should be able to sit down by the fire and play a guitar or play a violin with him. I think that would be super cool. Like I said, the animations are already complete. I could see it maybe being a problem if you want to walk around playing instruments, but you can already pick flowers and walk around at the same time, so Rockstar knows how to get an animation to play at the same time you're walking. I feel like it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Maybe that's why they haven't added it, but having an instrument on your back would also be sweet. Instruments, if you have the collector camp theme, there's a backpack sitting on your cot in your tent at camp, and I think that would be awesome. I would really love to see that backpack added to the game. I have no idea why you can't carry it. They would just need to give you your two long arms as like two shoulder weapon slot long arm slots, because the one on your back would like cut through the backpack, but that can easily be replaced. Again, just some ideas to make the game a little bit better, some quality of life changes. Now, moving on to Telesi, says being able to change your active horse from camp, you can in story mode, why not online? Kind of echoing what we talked about before. Again, being able to exchange your horse from camp, I see no reason why we can't. It's literally a story mode feature that they should bring to online, and it would make sense for online too. Sure, you can put your camp next to a stable or just fast travel to a stable if you want, but you should be able to access the hitching post at camp. Even if you don't see your horses at camp like we talked about before, go over to that hitching post at camp, and then it brings up the menu like you would see in the stable, and then you could swap out your horse from there. That would also make sense, but I guess Rockstar sees it as, you know, you could just go to the player interaction menu and call a different horse from there on the go, not necessarily needing to go to the stable. But if you have different saddles that you want to switch around, you know, that way you can do it kind of more on the go at your camp rather than being forced to go to the stable. Salty Surfers has changed position of the offhand holster. A lot of people have issues with this. I have an issue with it as well. The two most recent outfits I made, you know, usually I'm a fan of having the offhand holster because now you need to use it if you want to be able to dual wield sidearms. Before, you never used to use it, so people wouldn't necessarily use the offhand holster because it would make, you know, their jackets and their vests clip through and it would look weird and stuff. And that's why I don't really use it that much anymore on my newer outfits, because it's starting to make, you know, especially with the bandolier glitches now where they hang super wide and super low on your character, it's just getting really awkward with all the basically outfit and the offhand holster and the gun belt glitches and the clipping and all that stuff, and I would love to see changes to that. Being able to change the position would be awesome of both the normal gun belt, your offhand holster, or maybe even having like two offhand holsters basically like on the sides of your chest, like by your loins, so you can like dual wield like that and just whip out the pistols John Wick style. That would be interesting as well. Chase Southern says hunting dogs, being able to sit and stand against a tree, and an action to let your horse drink from rivers and lakes to restore health, and more agile horse animations. Now, hunting dogs, this is something people want. This is something Rockstar's confirmed as well that they wanted to bring into the game, and they just haven't yet. Back with Frontier Pursuits, when we finally got camp dogs added, a lot of people said, all right, next up, I want to see our dog be able to hunt animals with us, or just bring this dog as a camp companion out into the open world with us on our journeys and our explorations. And Rockstar was like, yes, we hear you, we definitely want to add this into the game. They never said anything on it ever again, and that was literally coming up on almost 2 years ago now, so I don't know what happened to that. Being able to sit and stand against a tree, kind of like when you join into story mode, you see Arthur just like leaning against the tree. That would be a nice little animation there. And having your horse drink from a river or a lake to gain some stamina and health back, that would be interesting as well. There's an option in the game for you to collect herbs on horseback. You know, your horse just leans down, rips the herbs out of the ground, and hands them to you. It could be that same animation for the water drinking, as long as you're standing still and then you press and hold the drink button or the collect button, which would be square on PlayStation, X on Xbox. The same type of deal going on, and as long as you're holding the button, your horse is drinking, gaining health cures back, and it could function like basically a camp stew for your horse, right? Just something he can eat a little bit, drink a little bit of water, and be good to go. And then Viren comes in and says a second character. This is the last one I want to talk about. This is very important here. I have a second character for basically like my hardcore permadeath series that I run over on Twitch, basically just using, you know, obviously free aim, no deadeye, no tonics, none of that. But every time my character dies, I need to completely delete it and restart. Start over from the prologue and go through everything again. Basically, the challenge here is to get to level 100 without dying. You know, people do this as a series in Minecraft with the hardcore permadeath mode, The Last Deadeye has done it for Red Dead Online, and I'm doing it too on Twitch if you guys want to check it out. But having a second character just on my same account would be nice, because as it stands right now, you know, you only have one character per account. So this character that I'm running for this hardcore permadeath series, it's on a completely separate account, separate email, separate Rockstar Games Social Club account. But I would love to have it all just as one, because on my main account that you see right now in the gameplay, I would love to have a second character and make that character female. That way on the same account, I have a male and female character, works together real well. I get both sides of the game. I could do double the daily challenges, things like that. It's an option in GTA. I'm not too sure why it's not an option in Red Dead Online. I see, you know, if Rockstar doesn't want you to do double the daily challenges, then fine, don't allow us to do that. But allow us to have a second character with our own bank account, because once I get done with the dailies for the day, I don't necessarily want to keep grinding on my main character. Like, I have several $100,000, and I like earning money. I like earning gold. I like grinding. That's how I get enjoyment out of this game a lot of the time. But I also want to be able to play on a different character that's lower level, because that's more fun. But I don't necessarily want to switch accounts completely because of it. So that's about everything here. You know, with all that said, I think we'll wrap things up. Pretty solid list of quality of life updates that Red Dead Online should and could receive in 2021 that I think would make a huge difference to the overall day-to-day enjoyment of the game. Of course, new content is something we're always going to want and need, but having more customization options for horses, outfits, our businesses, roles, etc., changes to what we're already doing would make things a lot more fresh. But I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments down below. What do you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video today, and if you did, hopefully I earned your like on it. And of course, if you are new to my channel and you want to stay up to date with the best Red Dead Online and Rockstar Games content, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out on a single thing. We consistently talk about updates, news, information, tips, tricks, and even leaks, and we'll keep you guys updated here on the channel daily. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you want to follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube. You're more than welcome to ask me any questions on there, and you can feel free to follow me at HazardousHDTV, and all of my social media links can be found in the description down below. That being said, thank you all so much for watching, everyone. Hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next Red Dead Online video. Adios, amigos.